another episode of the RoadFS Detail Bookie Podcast. We are live from MVP Detail Supply as part of the fun that's going on at the Rag Company
Yes, sir.
this week with TRCMA. And I just happened to catch a small glimpse that Connor was hosting a training event for Coach Kimmy, which I had never been exposed to your product. So I cornered Diego. Welcome, Diego. How are you?
Thank you. Great. And thank you for having me.
Oh, dude, I'm so excited. And we have a really sharp young man, owner of Wet and Wild Detail. And you're here as his little minion, his go-to guy to help him all things. So, dude, let's talk a little about Coach Kimmy. I was a little fly in the wall in the back. I wish I could have stayed the entire 4 hours that you were going. And my big takeaway that I've been to a lot of trainings,
Okay.
and I've never seen a product company come in and really design their whole products around the pH scale.
Yeah.
I mean, it's color coded, it matches a periodic table, and I'm like, oh, dude, that makes a lot of sense.
It's a lot of things that happens in KochChemie make a lot of sense. Like, when I first was started, I was a user before, right? I was my own detailer, so I was using it. I never paid attention to that. And it wasn't until I got sent to Germany to understand the full line. And I was like, oh my gosh, everybody's got to see this. We're a black and white company.
Yeah.
So then my question was always, why do we have such, awesomely designed, sexy colored bottles?
Yeah.
But then when you line them up with the periodic table, I'm like, oh my gosh, this makes so much sense. Now it makes sense what bottle to reach for with what color.
Yeah.
So it's all coordinated.
So you've been to a lot of the KochChemie trainings. Mm-hmm. And so tell me, how has that affected how you run your business?
Honestly, it's gave me a lot of confidence in everything, knowing what to do, how to do it, what way to. It's helped a lot.
Yeah, the big takeaway, I'm sitting there and I'm watching you this morning. I mean, every product was color coded.
Mm-hmm.
Every product line,
mm-hmm.
right? I mean, your shampoo line's like 7 products deep.
Mm-hmm. Yellow.
Yeah, and it's all yellow,
mm-hmm.
right? And then you had this kind of teal for your interior.
Correct.
And then the purple is for what? I can't remember. I think I stepped out there. That's your cut, right?
Well, that's my polish. Yeah.
Your polish.
Yeah.
So, as from a guy that has a very successful shop,
mm-hmm.
and being invited to represent a product like KochChemie, that's got to say a lot about your faith and commitment to the product line, because you didn't really, like you said, you didn't need the job.
Oh, absolutely. Yeah. So I had a very successful job that was in Daytona, and I traveled not only with that, but I traveled also to do a lot of work for Harley Davidson. I did a lot of bikes, probably over 4,000 bikes in my career. And then I did a lot of collections, private collections and stuff like that. So I was always in search. Like, I already had a system, I being ex-military, dad was German. Systems was my thing. So I already had a system that it really worked for me. And once I was started with my system, I started looking around for a chemical that would complement the system that I already had. And it more than complemented it. So once I found KochChemie, it altered my whole system to be even better. And I didn't think that was possible.
Yeah.
And I was like, holy moly, so this is taking me that much further, that much better, and that much quicker with KochChemie. What else? And so I leaned back and I remember I said, man, I just did, I did in one sitting, I did 14 cars and a boat in 16 days.
Oh, geez.
I was like, by myself. And I was like, there's no way. I looked and I saw, did I miss anything? No, everything was timed out. Everything was done great. I'm like, man, I got to show people how to do this, because that's money.
Yeah.
That's money. If I can show people how to do this. So I initially set out to open up a detail school in Daytona through Destined to Shine, which was my company. And I'm like, I got to do this. So I reached out to KochChemie and I said, hey, I got this idea. Would you guys pair up with me to show it? Because I only want to showcase KochChemie because I found what I needed. And they're like, nope, we don't do that. So I'm like, okay, no problem. I'm still going to do it, still going to open it. And I think it was an hour later when Jason reached back to me and said, "Hey, do you speak Spanish?" I'm like, "Man, I speak Spanish and German."
Yeah.
He's like, "You're
Oh,
German?" I'm like, "What? I'm Italian
dude,
and
you
German."
really got that.
He's like, "No way." I'm like, "Yeah, way." And so things broke open from there. And I was still not sure whether I was doing the right thing because, quite honestly, I was making a lot of money.
Yeah.
My place was making a lot of money, but I had already stopped working for money a while back, so I already knew what was available, what was done, and I knew that Koch Chemie was a very special thing. And once I got sent to Germany, it proved how special it really was.
Yeah.
And I remember going to dinner with the CEO of our CEO, Koch Chemie, and CEO Germany, and they said, so what do you think after the training? And I'm like, I don't need this job. I want this job.
Yeah, that says a lot. That says a lot. And one of the things that you early on in your training, you were talking about your schedule, right? And you had a dream schedule of working basically 4 to 9 evenings, take
Nine to
all
four,
day,
but
9 to 4,
yeah,
right?
yeah.
Nice, easy day. Had the weekends off. So I have a question for you, right? So as you're growing your business, a lot of guys, I mean, and you highlight when you start out, you're pounding the pavement, you're knocking on doors, you're cleaning cars, you're washing the bathrooms, you're doing everything, right? And you're often doing it 7 days a week, 12 hours a day, right? So, how has your training with Koch Chemie and the product line helped you better manage your business where you're not a slave to your business?
The work. It takes all the products take a lot of they don't take as much work as normal other products do. Um it helps with everything, honestly. Like it makes time management easier, it makes how to price easier, it makes just everything a lot easier.
Well, that's an important point because the number one question on detailer forums is how much should I charge? Right. So, how has your training helped you better think about your business in a way that's profitable instead of just hunting for the work?
Well, Diego showed us how to break down and figure out what would be the right thing for different steps and processes and add-ons and all kinds of little things to be able to help price everything out and make it beneficial to us.
Yeah.
So
That's good. Well, clearly you're having fun training. I
Love it.
mean, dude,
Love it.
you love training.
Yeah.
You're a natural trainer.
Thank you.
I highly recommend if you get an opportunity to train with Diego, he's really good. And I think, see, last year I went to 14 different trainings. A year before I went to like 18 different trainings.
Yeah.
So I've been exposed to almost every product line out there. This is the first time that I've had a chance to look at Koch Chemie, and I was really impressed not only with the product but also with Diego. So
Wow.
shout out to Koch Chemie for connecting this guy on the training side. So being a seasoned detail business owner, detailer, and now ambassador, trainer slash everything for Koch Chemie, what are some key things? What are a few key things that you would recommend that detailers do in their business?
Oh man, what I love to teach you, what he's talking about is systems of operations, right? As an ex-military man, I learned that systems of operations was my everything. So once I dialed that in, and then I realized that I was searching for the specific chemical to do, my job that I needed, I needed it to do. Marrying those two things was a necessary part of my process, and then realizing how much am I spending and what am I making per each vehicle that I'm doing is it has to be one of the biggest things that we have to figure out in order for us to be able to be successful. If you do not know your numbers, you do not know your business.
Yes.
And so a lot of people think, well, let's get into this so we can make some money. Yeah, you can make some money, but are you dialing it in so much so that you know exactly what it is that you're doing, what you can afford, what you can't afford? Are you using your money appropriately to buy the next thing that's going to cut down time or product that's going to cut down in time and elevate your, what your standing as far as the detailing that you're doing and you're producing out. All those things have to come together in
Yeah.
order for you to be successful. And I always say, mindset. If you don't have the mindset to go into something to produce something excellent and great, you can't control anything outside if you don't know how to control everything inside.
Oh yeah, that's
Yeah?
huge.
That
That's
is
huge.
huge. And most people think, oh, we'll go in and we'll make some money. Yeah, you'll make some money, but there's going to be a lot of mistakes.
Yeah.
And
Oh,
so,
yeah. Yes.
trust me, I know. Ask me
Yes,
how.
I know. Both of us know. We've experienced it. It's interesting because I stepped away out of the training for a little bit to help one of my new customers who are out of Mexico, right? And it's interesting how a few little tweaks in our software make a profound impact. And she was like, she texted me and she said, "Hey, I'm annotating when a times on a service starts."
Oh,
And I'm like, and I want to annotate who's doing that. I'm like, all right, let me get on the phone with you. Let me change a setting in our software.
Sure.
Let me turn on the time clock because you can time a service when it starts, when it stops. And she's like, well, can I carry it over to the next day? I go, yeah, here. So I did a little training video for her, sent it over, and she's like, oh my God, this is going to save me so much time. And it really is those little time savings that make you more efficient that have profound effect on your business.
absolutely. 100%. Efficiency is everything. Delivery of that efficiency is where your company grows. Not only personal, but also in showing the other people that are receiving this how it's going to go, how it's going. I'm like, hey, that was pretty good. I like
Yeah.
the outcome. So quality is all enhanced by what what you put together. The CRMs are so huge. I didn't have that in the beginning, and I just
No.
relied that on this old coconut to
Yeah, exactly.
put everything together. And I'm like, no, I can't be all of those things for my own company at one time.
Yeah,
At
exactly.
one time, in order for me to be the most efficient that I can be, I have to let go of this that I'm doing and put it in that category. The CRMs are so huge on that. And leave it there and let that operate.
Let it
for
operate
me
for
so
you.
that I can operate on something else.
Yeah, exactly. Well, I want to be respectful that you still have trainees over there waiting for round 2.
Yeah.
So how do people connect with Diego at KochChemie?
So we have a couple different levels of training. One that we're doing here is a pop-up or a 1 day that's going to give you a lot of information on chemicals, dwell time, dilutions, all that kind of stuff. Then we have stage 1, which you took, which is really dialing in to how to properly use the chemicals, when to properly use it, how to implement them, mindsets and tricks and things of the trade, plus the whole playbook on how to do that, right? And then we have stage 3, which is, or stage 2, sorry, stage 2, which is real dive into what? What did we do?
We did sanding. We did more paint correction,
Chip repair
chip repair.
Oh, wow.
and ceramic coating.
Yes, that
So
too.
now, and we do it on collectibles.
That's
That's
awesome.
that's
Yeah,
where I come
that's
from,
that's
collectibles.
awesome. Yes.
So why collectibles? Well, you never know what you're going to get. Just like us old people, you never
Yeah.
know what you're going to get.
Never
You
know
wanna
what
be
you're
at
gonna
one
get.
stage, you want to get.
Yeah, never know.
It's always a surprise, and we had that. We had that happen in our class, right? We thought we were going to do X, Y, Z. We came in, we tried it, and we realized the car said, "No, we're not." We're gonna
Oh
do
yeah,
something else."
yeah. Boy, I cannot tell you the stories at Peterson Automotive Museum where we've had 2 black cars and we're like, all right, let's do that. Yeah, no.
No, we're not.
We gotta this car's doing that and we're doing that over here. And it's great.
Exactly. But yeah, you can go on to KochChemie USA and scroll down and you'll see the training link.
Yep.
And you look up on there. Every month we have the stage 1 and stage 2 in Georgia.
Awesome.
And we are actually on a racetrack.
Yeah, I was gonna say, isn't it adjacent to a racetrack?
It is in the racetrack.
Yeah, so
you have
I gotta get there.
You got to. You know what? You should come.
Yeah, we're gonna have to do that.
The F4 series riders, they charge on that. They go on to that. You see all kinds of, what kind of cars do you remember seeing?
There's a lot. There's a couple Porsches. There was, I think, a Lambo, a Corvette.
There was everything.
Yeah,
If
everything.
you're a
Yeah,
car
that's
guy,
good.
you're on there and in there. And so it's a super cool ambiance, and it's almost gives you like a squirrel moment every time we try.
Oh yeah, dude. Yeah.
See that car?
And for an ADD guy, I'm like, oh yeah,
Yeah.
let's go.
Here's the motor. Like,
Yeah, yeah, exactly.
we have so much fun, and then we also race. So we actually go.
Oh,
on
dude,
the
I
race.
got to do that. I got to do that for my wife's
on over.
birthday. She really wants to drive a car, so we might do that.
That'd
So,
be great.
so how do people connect with you?
Wet and Wild Detailing on Instagram and Facebook.
That's awesome. So, guys, if you haven't watched TRCMA, this is the last day. So go back and watch the other 2 days. Go tap into a couple lives. They've been fantastic. And this is the first time that we've ever had a training at MVP Detail Supply while TRCMA is going. So I'm super glad we got to connect. Thank you
you.
for giving me a few minutes of your
No,
time.
Thank you.
You guys, thank you so much for tapping in. Please remember to like, share, and subscribe. Give Rod a shout out. He's a little under the weather. That's why he's not with me. But, you know, he's got his, he doesn't even have his Barry White voice on. It's Barry White with bronchitis. So, anyway, you guys have a great day, and we'll check you later. See ya.